There's a new thing coming up, and I'm not really sure why, but people now are jumping on beds. What? You say? What? Jumping on beds? Yeah. It's very weird. It started, this guy by the name of, where's his name? Clark. He says that he started a new website called bedjump.com, and all it did was feature lots of photos of people jumping on hotel beds. You're thinking, why in the world would you do that? And I wouldn't have thought of that. But he started the website when he was researching a story on the growing importance of plush beds in the hotel industry. I didn't know there was a growing importance of that. I normally don't stay at a plush hotel. Do you?
No, but even like the mid-range hotels take great pride now in offering their feather beds.
I've seen the advertisements for that. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So you think that's because people want to come in and lay down and get a good night's sleep? No, according to him, people want to come in and jump up and down on the bed.
Well, it's something you can do in a hotel room.
Well, yeah. He admits a lot of people simply like the freedom aspect of jumping on a bed that's not their own, as you say. It's in a hotel room.
Right.
But he said there's a naughty aspect to it. Now, I don't really get that.
Well, at home, if you jump up and down on the bed, unless you live alone, somebody's going to yell at you.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe that's a naughty aspect.
There's all kinds of naughty things you can do in a hotel room.
Mm-hmm. I hear. I'm not sure about that, but I hear. On a feather bed, on a feathery bed, you think? What's more fun than jumping up and down on a feathery bed, though? Well, don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Towels.
Okay. So far, he's received hundreds of bed jumping submissions. He puts this on a website. Suddenly, he gets hundreds of submissions of people wanting to jump up and down on the bed and pictures of it. He got them as far away as Hungary, Sweden, and China. And he gets more every day. He says that by far he gets more photos taken in Las Vegas than any other city.
Yeah.
So people go to Vegas now to jump up and down on the beds.
That's all they're doing.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, I'd worry about hitting my head. He's going to get sued. Somebody's going to get sued.
Well, why would you worry about hitting your head?
Because the hotels usually don't have high-rise ceilings.
No, they don't.
You get any kind
and
of
the beds are
air
kind of high, too.
So yeah.
Okay.
Bust your
well,
melon.
that'll be one of the questions we'll ask him then.
Yep.
All right, that's coming up later, too.
This is today's interview, and here's your host, Gary Burbank.
Why, thank you, Gary Owens. To some people, the Internet is a vast wasteland of porn, liars, weirdos, and crass advertisements that pop up in your face. Now, to others, the reason the Internet was invented was so we could visit sites like www.bedjump.com. And BedJump is Chris Clark's site, and it's devoted to people jumping on beds, usually in a hotel. Is that right, Chris? Usually in a hotel, right, Chris?
That's right, it is.
Okay, now I guess the reason a hotel is you don't do it at home because you bust your bed. At a hotel, you just say, well, we got a little frisky.
Well, I think that's certainly part of it. I think just the nature of hotel beds these days are just so terrific and plush and lush that it's just irresistible.
Yeah, I mean, you see the advertisements with the new feather beds, and you think, man, I want to go just to sleep and nothing else. But then when you get there, did this happen to you? Did you see this bed and I need to jump on this thing?
Well, there's no question that inspires that kind of feeling in a lot of people. That's for sure, myself included.
Well, how in the world would you know there would be so many people who did this that your site would be so successful?
Well, it's successful, I wasn't sure, that's for sure. I actually came across a couple of these images online when I was researching an article that I was writing on the hotel industry. Mm-hmm. And I just found a couple of these, and when I dug a little bit, I thought they were hilarious. And when I dug a little bit, I realized there was just hundreds of these images out there. And the more I looked, it's even turned into the thousands now.
And people keep sending you pictures. Would you like to get a few pictures of people maybe listening that have done this and want to go to a hotel and have a shot taken?
That's exactly right. People actually who are bored in their guest room, people who are at work or away on business, they actually take a self-timer picture of themselves doing this just to entertain themselves, I guess.
Now you're in Vancouver. Is this a Canadian thing, or do Americans partake as well? I don't know.
I have a couple of Canadian pictures, but I have pictures from all over the world. My inbox is literally jam-packed with pictures all over the place. In fact, I even have some recently from the Cincinnati area.
Oh, yeah?
Outstanding. I'm really excited about those.
Now, what is hotel policy on bed jumping? Have you heard anything about that?
I've had some comments out there and even some emails saying we hope the hotel industry comes and shuts you down. I can't imagine what that's going to feel like. some of my biggest fans are from the hotel industry.
Well,
they
you
know
think
their beds can take the abuse, so that's the least of their worries.
People do it even if they're not going to take a picture. I mean, they come in the room and you flop on the bed in one way or another.
Now, my co-host just said that is 6'7", weighs about 350. He's a big guy, and he's concerned about the ceilings. Now, you have a problem with the ceiling, right, Duke?
Well, you have to jump at the right. I couldn't get on the bed and jump up and down because of the ceiling problem, but I certainly could take a flying run across the room and then dive onto the bed, which is half the fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, are hotel beds sturdier than a regular old bed, I guess?
No question. Most of the hotel beds that we get images of are really top of the line. So, I mean, they can definitely take the abuse.
Mm-hmm. So, the fun is in the jumping. You say it gets kind of naughty, too. Can you explain that to us?
Well, it's just something I think that, I mean, to your earlier point, Gary, it's something that you don't want to do at home.
No.
You're out on the road, and it just sort of feels good. It is naughty. We get a lot of images from Las Vegas. As it happens, and I think just that whole naughty vibe in the Sin City just kind of inspires that type of behavior.
And you're thinking what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except for hotel bed jumping, which you want to take a picture of and send to you.
That's exactly the tagline I use when I get to Vegas images. I love those. They really make us laugh over here.
Give me an idea of some of the stranger pictures you've received of people jumping up and down on beds.
Oh, that's funny. I have had quite a few, actually, even in the last 2 weeks that I haven't posted. I want to keep the blog kind of a family-friendly.
Sure, yeah.
I have a 5-year-old who likes to look at it, too. I've got people taking pictures of their naked partners, in all kinds of contorted positions. I get a chuckle out of them, but they don't end up on the site, that's for sure.
Okay, I mean, are there some pretty big, huge people like Duke maybe jumping up and down on beds that you think, this bed's not going to last?
Oh, there's no question. I just can't believe the size of some of the hotel guests that are doing this, and it's just some of the positions that they get in, the facial expressions are just hilarious.
Speaking of positions, I guess this could turn into kind of an Olympic sport in a way. I mean, hotel bed jumping, you get up, you learn to do like a triple twist or something like that, and you come down and have judges sitting by the whole. This could be a pretty big thing.
We've got the Olympics coming to Vancouver in 2010. Maybe we'll try to get some.
You may add this. You may hotel bed jumping. And now it might beat some of the other stuff they have that's pretty boring. And this wouldn't be boring at all. You're like, how can the bed take this? Come on, Chris, tell me all about this. Well, I don't know. So it's Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I actually had an email from a reporter in China, and I seem to have some fans in China. And they're having the Olympics in 2008 in Beijing. And she was talking about bed jumping as if it really was an Olympic sport.
Oh, really?
I couldn't believe it.
I was being facetious, and it could actually happen. Okay, again, it's www.bedjump.com. And if you got some great shots, you might want to send them to Chris and check out his shots, too. Chris, I thank you for the time here, okay?
Thanks very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Talk to you later. www.bedjump.com. I still do that every now and then. You know what I mean?
Got to.
I mean, Carol could never see me doing it. Maybe, what are you doing in there? Nothing. Maybe just, like you said, just one good quick, pow, hit it.
Yeah, Superman style.
Mm-hmm.
This is the BBC. 700 WLW.